Hi everybody, Tom here. I hope you're doing okay in this sweltering heat. If you're in the northeastern United States, it's hot and humid. But this tree, now that it's established, is doing okay. This is Quercus rubra, the northern red oak. And we planted this probably 3 years ago as a bare root plant. It was roughly an inch in caliper at breast height at 6 inches off the ground. Nursery stock and mature trees are measured differently by different professionals, FYI, but that's another story. So 6 inches off the ground, it was probably an inch and a half. Bare root came in a bag with a little bit of this proprietary gel, and that was developed by Nina Bassick from Cornell. And I'll plug the nursery in the down below. Anyway, big fan of bare root trees. If you get them to establish, which takes some water, takes some diligence, you can get a lot more done in a very short time, a lot more trees planted. But also, they'll hit the ground running once they get established. And this is no exception. This tree is now up around 2.5 inches in caliper. Foliage looks great, sharing a little bit with its neighbors. You see some holes in the leaves here. So why is that? That's because Quercus rubra and all of the other Querci, that is the genus that includes all of the oaks, the red oaks and the white oaks. The oaks are that species which supports more other species than any other. Does that make sense? Let me say it this way. If there's a plant that supports more other organisms in the world, it hasn't been found yet. Plant or animal or any kind of organism. That's based on the research of Doug Tallamy, one of my gurus, who wrote a book called Bringing Nature Home. He wrote a book called The Nature of Oaks most recently. I want you to look those books up. Find them at your local store, order them through your local store, read those books. Those are the Bibles of the modern, in my opinion, the modern residential landscape and the modern community forest. Bringing Nature Home and The Nature of Oaks, both by Doug Tallamy. Also look up Homegrown National Park if you haven't heard of it yet. It's a really cool idea. Basically, we form this network of pollinator-friendly pieces of land and communicate with each other and try to connect them as best we can so that there's a continuous corridor all over North America for the pollinators that we desperately need in order to provide us with food and to continue life as we know it. You know, no big deal. Quercus rubra, northern red oak, prized once upon a time for its timber, kind of less so now. White oak is kind of preferred for cabinetry and stuff and for its strength and its rot resistance. Red oak, super strong. The tree is very tall. The wood is indeed red. Beautiful figure in that wood. Potentially, it's good for flooring, certainly good for firewood. And the acorns, of course, that are produced by all of the oaks are eaten by many, many, many other organisms, especially megafauna like deer, squirrels, of course, and the blue jay. And Doug Tallamy will talk about this. It's the blue jay that is the primary vector for the oaks. They take those acorns and they obviously can fly further than a squirrel can walk or run, and then they'll bury it, cache it for later, and that's how oaks can be spread. I think this is a very underused tree as far as a street tree, and it's going to have some resilience through climate change. So we should be planting more of this and many of the other oaks. And we have a bit of a little oak forest going on up here that will I'll share more over time. Quercus Rubra, Northern Red Oak. Look them up. Watch for some other details down below. And get outside now that it's cooled off this evening.